Here at DirtFish, we are delighted to be partnering with Gino WRC Invest for our coverage of this week's Rally Japan. As you know, Gino WRC Invest is the place to go to buy a World Rally car, a Rally 2 or an R5 car. Working alongside Alessandro Gino at Gino WRC Invest is former Hyundai Motorsport team principal Andrea Adamo. All rally cars are of huge interest to Mr. Adamo, but some cars, well, they're just a little bit more interesting than others. Take the Citroen C3 WRC, for example. Andrea's Hyundais had the edge over the French, and it was the Italian who celebrated being on top of the world with his Korean cars. But the Citroen's always been a car Andrea wanted to get under the skin of. And now he's going to do just that. As we await DirtFish's Rally Japan coverage in partnership with Gino WRC Invest, enjoy Adamo's look at one of his biggest rivals from 2019.
In 2017, when in WRC we saw the advent of the WRC Plus, Citroen came back with the Citroen C3 Plus. Such a car is the top of the ones that were running with Toyota, Hyundai and Ford, and of course was immediately competitive. We can remember that Mick won in Mexico in 2017 with the famous slide out in the last power stage, and drivers like Mick, of course, Craig Breen, Sebastian Ogier that won Monte Carlo with this car, and Esa-Pekka Lappi were using this very beautiful car through the season from 2017 till 2019, and the end of which Citroen withdrew from the WRC. Enjoy, Ale.
Okay, let's try this amazing Citroen C3 WRC Plus. This car is the chassis number 2. It's a development car, ex-works, of course, development car. There are around 8 only cars still alive in the world of this Citroen. It's also the last Citroen ever used in the World Rally Championship, WRC 1. This car has been driven by Ogier at Goodwood. We have a lot of confidence with this small circuit, perfect for WRC or Rally 2 cars. First of all, launch procedure, very easy. First gear on, mix, which is the LS. And then go, it's automatic. Wow! The engine sound is amazing of this car. So we use it in this way. With the hand brake, we try to anticipate a little bit the corner in order to slide out of them very fast, especially in this condition, having the gravel setup, which is completely different compared to tarmac. Just a small handbrake and goes. Amazing. The engine sound is something great. In this track, you can feel the downforce only here of the aerodynamics, but we know which is something very special, especially above 120 kilometers per hour. Wow, this car is something magical, and it's very easy to drive, even in gravel, set up on tarmac. Look how easy it is. The only thing that I won't be happy about this way of driving, but it's something amazing. Go! Wow, this Citroen is something. This car is something amazing. I did also a donut. The last one was done by Seb O'Shea. So, amazing. Love it. Really love it.
In my opinion, the most impressive thing of these cars were the aero development. Huge rear wings. You see, we have two profiles, the top one and the bottom one, that were interacting each other, but we cannot forget that they were interacting also with the rear diffuser. And in fact, these cars had basically a flat bottom of the car, so using the ground effect, so-called. But the aero development was huge also along everything. You can see we had a big air exits from the front and rear wheel arches to remove the air pressure inside. Side skirts to manage the airflow below the car. Of course, many inlets for rear diff cooling, brake cooling, and in the front it was nice to see these impressive flick ups that were bigger and bigger along the years with strange shapes, some with some teeth, and the splitter that was managing the front airflow in order to have a good balance between the front and rear downforce. Useless to say that between 2017 and 2021, the downforce increase was a lot. But I have to say that also the way the drivers were using the downforce was different, because it was a brand new world for them. The performance level of these cars was huge, a big step ahead to what has been seen since 2016. Much more power. At the end of the era, we were about 410, 415 horsepower. Huge aerodynamic downforce. But we cannot forget that these cars were also the first ones, let me say, where the research for the safety for the crew was at another level. We had specific seats fitted in the car with loads of foam to protect also the driver from the side impact. That has always been something very dangerous in rally cars. And we have a thick foam that was specially studied. And another thing that we can notice when we are close is that the doors were much thicker than the original road car, because all inside were fitted with this absorbing material in order to have the side impact energy dissipated around. Without speaking about the level of design of the roll cage, that was for the first time with the minimum thickness of the pipes much higher than what was since then. So a step ahead also in safety, not only in performance. The engine was still a 1.6 turbo, but with a big restrictor, 36 millimeters up to 2.5 bars of turbo over pressure. The power we already spoke about, but we cannot forget the active central differential that was helping a lot in managing the car along the corners, reducing quite a lot the tendency of understeer.
I had so much fun with this Citroen C3 WRC Plus chassis number 2 here on a dry surface, on a dry car track, with this time 1:16:34, which is much slower, which is something right, compared to the same time did with the Citroen C3 WRC Plus, but in tarmac spec. But this is not the point. The car in this way, in pure gravel, is so much fun to drive. You can see how easy it is to slide the car even without the handbrake. Even the movement of the chassis are much more slower, which means much more predictable. But on the other side, you can enjoy fully the power and the torque of this amazing engine with almost more than 380 horsepower. This car is something magical, and in my opinion, it's a must-have in any proper collection. See you in next video, even though it will be quite difficult to beat this beast. I love you.